Welcome to the Secrets of Stylish Women podcast. I am your host, Lauren Simmonds. I'm a personal stylist and style strategist, and I started this podcast to create a forum for women who are looking to learn more about style and how to improve their personal style. They can have a place to go. So today's June 24th, and the reason I say that is yesterday was National Pink Day, and I miss it. I didn't miss it. I knew it was National Pink Day, but I just could not get my act together to pull a pink outfit together. I ran some errands and went about my day, and I just couldn't get it together. So here I am today with my pink. I have pink glasses and pink earrings and a pink bodysuit. So happy belated National Pink Day. Someone recently asked me if pink was my favorite color, and it's actually not. I don't have a favorite color, but I do love pink because I think it looks great on my skin. And I think pink is just a happy color. And over the years, like I used to kind of shy away from pink because I felt it was too girly, like that was a bad thing. But girly is not so bad. I'm leaning into my girliness. So here we are with the pink. Okay, so for today's episode, I'm going to give you some tips to help you shop in a more thoughtful way. And I'm also going to give you a couple of tips on, how to think about styling your clothing. So I have a list because I didn't remember all this. So here we go. So when you think about shopping and your personal style, do you actually even have a strategy, a style strategy? Now, I don't know if you've ever thought about style in a way that it can be perceived as a strategy, but it is a strategy. Style can be used as a strategic tool to help you improve the quality of your life, to shape people's opinions and perspectives. It's not going to cure, all the problems of the world, but style does have the ability to help you in your life. So I want you to think about creating a style strategy when you put your wardrobe together, when you think about like what looks good on you. Style can be used as a tool, as I mentioned. So what's your strategy? Like, how do you approach getting dressed? How do you approach shopping and putting your outfits together? So if we take a step back a little, I'm going to walk you through a few guidelines that can help you when you're thinking about, shopping and your personal style overall. So the first thing you want to do is know your measurements. Do you actually know your measurements? Our bodies change, so that may change, throughout the year or over time. But taking your measurements periodically is going to be helpful because if you do a lot of online shopping, that's kind of helpful if you're trying to decide what size to wear. We know that sizing varies between retailers and product groups and styles and all that. So you want to make sure that you have your measurements. So you have kind of somewhat of a guide when you're doing online shopping. Some clothes run small for certain brands, and some brands, they cut their clothing a little bigger. So you want to make sure that, again, your measurements. So this way, when you're shopping at different retailers, the sizing is not really what you're going by. You're going by your actual measurements. The second thing you want to think about when you are shopping and just thinking about your style is taking a step back and thinking about the foundation. And when I say the foundation, I mean your bra size. Many of us are walking around wearing the wrong size bras, myself included. And that is because we either don't get measured frequently enough or at all. So if you have never gotten a professional bra fitting, I highly recommend that you go and get a bra fitting because, again, it sets the tone, it holds you up. So I lost, last time I had a bra fitting was about a little over a year ago. And you should at least go annually. But if your weight fluctuates significantly, it's going to affect your bra size. So whenever you have a significant fluctuation in weight, or if you're just feeling like your bras are no longer giving you that support, like you should feel the presence of your bra and you should feel supported, but not in an uncomfortable way. It should still be comfortable. So I got my fitting a little over a year ago. I lost a significant amount of weight. And if you saw one of my Instagram reels, my recent reels, you'll see that I went to get a bra fitting. And I was in the fitting room, and you could see all the space in the cup of my bra. And then the band itself, it wasn't feeling supportive. And I could even see myself in pictures and, video content where I didn't look as supported as I should be. So getting a bra fitting is an important part of your style and your getting dressed process. And for me, I like to have several, bras to make sure that I have enough coverage. And then you want to probably have different bras for different types of clothing. So get a bra fitting. That's an important part of your style process. Let me get a sip of water. Okay. The third thing you want to do is when you are shopping, pay attention to the composition of the fabric and the care instructions. So when you think about the composition of the clothing, start getting familiar with different fabrics. Fabric is constantly changing, and new types of performance fabrics and just fabrics in general are being created. But knowing the basics in terms of, natural fibers versus synthetic, different blends, how they actually look is going to help you when you're shopping. Now, sometimes you can't really tell because some retailers and brands do a better job about indicating like what things are made of, but start paying attention to that. Like, I do a lot of online shopping, so it's helpful from that perspective. So being familiar with fabrics will help you when you're doing online shopping. But in person, when you do it in person and you shop, start looking at the labels, like the fabric content and the care instructions. Looking at the fabric content is going to help you actually start getting familiar with the look and the feel of different, blends. And then again, a lot of performance fabrics are being created. Natural fibers are also, are always a good way to go when you are buying clothes, because they help absorb sweat, help you, breathe better in your clothes. Oh my goodness, let me take a step back. They help you stay cooler. Natural fibers like cotton and linen and bamboo. But there are also synthetic fibers or synthetic fabrics that have been created that are incorporated into performance fabrics like athleisure. So go to any prominent athleisure brand, and you'll see that polyesters and other synthetic fabrics are included. But they're constructed in such a way where they do help you stay cool. So pay attention to the fabrics, and then see which fabrics work better for you. There may be some things that you may want to stay away from or may not feel good on your skin. So again, just being educated about the fabric content is going to make you a better shopper, a more savvy shopper. Number 4, you want to check out the quality. So I know that there is a lot of fast fashion and cheap fashion and poorly made clothing that's circulating. So being a discerning shopper, like if you are going to add inexpensive clothing to your wardrobe, make sure you get the best of the best. So paying closer attention to the seams, how close together are the seams? If they're really far apart, it may not be as well constructed. Look at the buttons. So I don't shop at Forever 21 for myself generally, but I do have a teen, and we find ourselves in Forever 21 occasionally. And sometimes there are things in there like, oh, that's cute, right? So I can fit into some Forever 21 clothes. So I bought a couple of pairs of jeans. I'm like, oh, these are cute. And they were a little more on the trendy side. So I was like, well, let me get these inexpensive inexpensive jeans so I can, be a little trendy without spending a whole bunch of money. But there's a price to pay. Okay. There's a price to pay. The zippers, they're not YKK zippers. They're not sturdy. The buttons aren't as, sturdy. And then the zipper keeps coming down. And, so it's those types of things that differentiate poorly made clothing and things that are well made. So you want to start paying attention to the hems and the seams and the buttons, zippers, hardware, things like that, to make sure that you're getting, good quality. If the intent is to hold on to things for a while. And I know every once in a while, you may want to grab something to serve a specific purpose, or may not even want it for a long term. So when you think about shopping, having a strategy, again, like that's another way to think about things. I don't advocate adding a whole bunch of clothing and accessories and things to your wardrobe just for the sake of having stuff. I think I'm becoming more aware of, environmental issues. And I'm also becoming more discerning, letting go of things that just aren't working for me anymore. So you see that I cut my hair recently. My hair was not working for me, so I cut it. I'm getting rid of clothing and shoes and accessories that are no longer working for me. So it's important to think about style in those terms. If it's important, the environment. So I'm not like the eco-conscious chick on steroids, but I am becoming more aware of our environment. And you don't have to have the most clothing, you don't have to have the most shoes, you don't have to have the most. But if you are adding items to your wardrobe to serve a specific purpose or a short period of time, that can be a part of your overarching strategy, which consists of, okay, the core of my wardrobe consists of pieces that are going to serve me for a long time. And I know when I buy things that I want to wear for years to come. So I believe in, re-wearing your clothing and repeating things. I believe in the power of mixing and matching and bringing your wardrobe to life with, okay, so maybe you're not going to, get new clothing, an entire new wardrobe each season, but you can freshen things up with, swapping out your basics. Or if your basics are normally comprised of things in neutral colors, maybe you want to swap out basics for some things that have a little more color or some prints and patterns. So there are ways to bring your wardrobe to life without constantly adding. You do want to add things to your wardrobe that are close to your body, like your undergarments. Like, I do a lot of t-shirts and tanks, things like that. So you want to pay a little closer attention to those things that are closer to your body and replace those more frequently. But generally, my thought process when I think about clothing is to buy things that you love. And that was actually number 6, only buy things that you love and need. And I know that I skipped number 5, but we'll get back to number 5. But only buy things that you love or need. Like, there's no need to have a whole bunch of stuff and clutter. Like, I'm really starting to understand why people feel the need to start purging and letting go of things, because having a lot of stuff, it can really weigh you down. So I'm really trying to get clarity on who I am as a person, and getting rid of things is an important part of that. So if you're someone who thinks that you have to keep constantly buying and adding to your wardrobe, just think about things a little bit differently, reframe things. I will tell you that every client that I've worked with has learned how to think about style a little differently, or has seen things through a different lens, because I have the ability as an outsider and as a fashion expert to come in and look at things from a different perspective. And honestly, I could hire a stylist and they would come in and have me look at things from a different perspective. So that's a big part of what the personal styling process is. So that's how I approach my engagements with my clients. It's really about opening eyes and having you think about style differently, because that's what style is. Style starts up here. Okay, let me get back on track here. All right, so that was number 6. Number 5. So this is actually going to be the last one, because I went out of order. But get your clothing tailored. Get your clothing tailored. Even if you don't have the most expensive or the highest quality items, getting your clothing tailored can make the items look more expensive, and they can make them look custom. So I like a polished but not perfect look. Sometimes I wear my blazers a little oversized or ill-fitting, or because I just like, I don't know, a little imperfection every once in a while is not a bad thing. But now I'm, refining my look, refining in the sense that I'm changing certain elements about my style to accommodate the season of life that I'm in now. So things are kind of changing for me. And with that, I want to have a little more precision in certain areas. So I got a bunch of blazers tailored, sleeves may have been a little long and things like that. So just tightening things up in that respect. Get your clothing tailored. I have a pair of pants that the cuff, they have a wide cuff, which I love, but they're not quite long enough. And because the cuff is so wide, there's enough fabric so that they can bring the pants down about 1.5 inches. Keep a cuff, maybe not quite as wide, but give me the length that I like, because I like my pants a little longer. I like to wear them longer. So, using a tailor in that way is really smart. When you have a wardrobe of clothes that fit you well, and it's a small focused wardrobe, to me, that's better than having an extensive wardrobe of things you don't wear or things that don't fit well. So those are 6 ways to help you out in terms of styling and shopping. So let me recap the list here. So the first is know your measurements. The second, get a bra fitting. The third is pay attention to fabric content and care instructions. And you know what? I didn't lean in with fabric care, but when we think about fabric care, one of the important things you want to pay attention to is, does the garment have to be dry cleaned or not? Do you want to have that recurring investment, or do you want easy care clothes that you can wash and maintain and care for yourself? So think about that when you're looking at labels. And then also, if you're someone who doesn't want to invest a lot of time and effort into ironing or steaming your clothing, knowing the fabric content and, looking for some of the clues that the fabrics are easy care are also important if you have, lifestyle considerations. Okay, so that was number 3, pay attention to fabric content and care instructions. And number 4, check out the quality, look at the hardware, check out the hems, look at buttons. Do things look sturdy? Do they look like they're going to fall apart? So pay attention to the quality. Number 5 is get your items tailored. And I just told you a couple of things that I'm having done to, reshape and, help my wardrobe. And another thing, I lost some weight. I think I mentioned that when I was speaking about the bra thing. So I'm also getting things tailored to fit a little better in the waist. I want to dress for the body that I have today. I don't want to say, oh, well, what if I gain a couple of pounds in the future? The thing is, when your clothes are actually tailored for the accurate size, the size that you actually are, it helps you monitor your weight. So, if you're someone who doesn't step on scales and, do that kind of thing, your clothing can be a great indicator of where you are. If you have clothing that's too big and you gain a couple of pounds, you're not really going to have a gauge of that. But if you have clothing that fits you well, you have a heightened sense of awareness when it comes to, feeling the fluctuations in your weight. So that is number 5, get your clothing tailored. And then number 6, only buy what you love or what you need. The days of, just indiscriminate spending, at least for me, are over. I've seen a couple of things that I absolutely love recently, and I bought them. When I see things that I like, and if I have something similar, like I'm really forcing myself to go through the process, like, wait a minute, is this something that I'm really going to wear? Is this something that can fit into my lifestyle? Or, and when I say my lifestyle, I don't mean every day. Like I told you all probably in previous episodes that I wear some things that are a little fancier just for day-to-day errands and things like that at times. So I'm creating opportunities to where I like fancy things. I like tulle and I like sequins and I like voluminous things and I like feathers and I like color and I like bold things. And I'm finding ways to incorporate those things into my life. And I encourage you to do the same. So only buy what you love or you need. Things are expensive, very expensive now. So now's not the time to be, buying things that you don't really need. I encourage you to visit your closet. And I will tell you again, there have never been any clients. All the women that I work with see their wardrobes differently. So it is possible to create better style using the things that you have in your closet. If you're interested in a consult, email me, Lauren at thefearlessfashionista.com, or go to my website, thefearlessfashionista.com, book a consultation, not a consultation, but a discovery call, and I will help you understand how you can potentially work with me, and I can help you find your fabulous. So with that, I am going to close out this episode, but be fearless, stay fashionable, have fun. Oh, I forgot something. Let me retract that, because I was supposed to give you some style secrets. Well, I did. I gave you a whole bunch of style secrets. I didn't give you a non-style related secret. Well, the non-style related secret, I should have been more prepared for this. Be courageous. Be courageous. I recently told someone that I said, what is life? What is life if you're not willing to go for the things that you want? And that's not to say that I've gone for every single thing that I've wanted, but I go for things that I want generally, even though I don't always have the courage or the voice or the words. But I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and start doing things that make you happy. I know people say that all the time. It's very cliche, but once you start listening to who you are and what you want and what you want to do, life is going to make so much more sense. I'm telling you, if you're living for other people, rethink that. Live for yourself. And that's not to say that you shouldn't consider the people who you care about, but start doing the things that make you happy, because it's your life and you only get one. I mean, as far as we know, and at least in this, incarnation of things. But did I use that word correctly? Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So that's it. That's all I got. So the non-style related secret, and it's not a secret, but live your life. Start really listening to who you are, and start doing the things that make you happy. And it's really going to improve the quality of your life. So with that, thank you for listening. And I encourage you to continue tuning in. Visit me on Instagram at the Fearless Fashionista, and the Secrets of Stylish Women also on Instagram. And I'll be back soon. Toodles.